Ever wondered where our laws come from? Like, who first decided that theft was a crime? Or what the rules for business should be? Let's travel back in time, nearly 4,000 years ago, to ancient Babylon. Here, a king named Hammurabi created something truly revolutionary. One of the world's first ever written legal codes. This wasn't just a list of rules. It was a pillar of civilization, and is called the Code of Hammurabi. Imagine living in a huge empire with different cities, different people, and different customs. It could get chaotic, right? Well, Hammurabi wanted to bring order and fairness to everyone under his rule. So, around 1754 BCE, he had 282 laws carved onto a massive black stone pillar called a stele. This wasn't hidden away in a palace. It was placed right in the middle of the city for everyone to see. This was a huge deal. For the first time, the law wasn't a secret, known only to priests or nobles. It was public, permanent, and applied to the entire kingdom. Now, what did these laws actually say? They covered almost every aspect of Babylonian life. There were rules about business deals, like how much interest you could charge on a loan. There were laws about family matters, like marriage, divorce, and inheritance. It even covered things like medical malpractice. If a doctor performed a surgery and the patient died, the doctor could face severe consequences. The goal was to create a society where people knew their rights and responsibilities. At the very top of the stele, there's a famous carving. It shows King Hammurabi standing before Shamash, the Babylonian god of justice. Shamash is shown handing the laws to Hammurabi. This was a powerful statement. It told the people that these weren't just Hammurabi's ideas. They were divine laws, handed down from the gods themselves. This gave the code immense authority and made people take it very, very seriously. It was a way of saying, this is the ultimate standard of right and wrong. Perhaps the most famous principle from the Code of Hammurabi is an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This idea, known as lex talionis, meant that the punishment should fit the crime. If you caused someone to lose an eye, you would lose your eye in return. It sounds harsh to us today, but at the time, it was a way to prevent endless cycles of revenge. Instead of a family feud going on for generations, the state would deliver a specific, final punishment. However, the eye for an eye principle wasn't applied equally to everyone. Babylonian society was strictly hierarchical. There were nobles, commoners, and slaves. The punishment you received often depended on your social status and the status of your victim. For example, if a nobleman injured a commoner, he might only have to pay a fine. But if a commoner injured a nobleman, he could face a much harsher physical punishment. This shows that while the code aimed for justice, it also reinforced the existing social structure. It wasn't perfect justice as we see it today, but it was a step toward a more organized system. Even with its class-based punishments, the code introduced some surprisingly modern legal concepts. For example, it established a form of the presumption of innocence. If you accused someone of a crime, you had to prove it. If you couldn't, you could be punished yourself for making a false accusation. This was a major step forward, protecting people from baseless claims and ensuring that evidence was central to justice. So, why does a 4,000-year-old set of laws still matter today? Because the Code of Hammurabi laid the groundwork for so many legal systems that followed. Its principles of written, public law and punishments that fit the crime influenced later codes, like the laws of the Hebrew Bible and eventually Roman law, which is the ancestor of many legal systems in the West. Hammurabi's vision of a society governed by a clear, consistent set of rules was a monumental achievement. It was a blueprint for how to build a stable and just civilization, an idea that has echoed through millennia and continues to shape our world. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey back to ancient Babylon interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more dives into history. See you next time.